upper end of the bracket, but it is the match that we have got, and it is Ancient to start things off. Astralis off to that T side, getting ready with the pistol round. Double flash and defuse for Tizzy, and Glaive and Zipex have a mountain of util.
3-1-1 setup already being set up by the big side. Astralis bringing a lot of pace and acceleration out towards his lane control, trying to see if they can go quickly into B.
Smoke set at the ready, but aggression is coming forward from the big side. They'll press their way forward as Keto watches that side entrance. It's Tabson with the opener. Zipex caught off guard. Keto trying his best to suppress as Tabson gets his double. Farley can respond, but Tabson is still working inland here. Got backup all around him as Tizian presses forward, but does get overwhelmed. 3-on-2, and Farley is looking for the headshots that only go so far. BlameF is right behind him, and he can't do much more with it. It's Big taking the pistol.
What a read that is coming through from Big. We can see the way that Astralis are looking for the two long and short smokes to go in for a quick BXE, and instead of allowing that pressure to continue up, Big actually start aggressing forward. They take that ramp control, look into lane, and Tabson finds an absolute sequence in with 3, and then gets support by the rotators.
Yeah, opening start, of course, for Big, thanks to that aggression. Every support, of course, on the SMGs coming out with the pistols for the Astralis side. SMGs are also inbound for Big, of course, with the slightly better buy, as you would expect. No bomb plant bonus for Astralis. It's not a major force invest, but it works up to that opening kill.
Even with Farfan flashing over high to get Tizian out, the blindness not really quite there. Opening man advantage coming through from Astralis, but a lot of map control trying to get gained.
Slow and careful, though. Walks forward. Config could get caught off guard if he's not careful. Searson and Keto be the two players that will try and challenge him, but not going to press much further forward than this. They've made noise. Perfect chance for the Deagle to strike, but the SMG's just that little bit better.
Tabson deep towards the temple position at least allows information that no one's walked further forward, that Candles hasn't been exposed completely, and now those lane players decide to go more passive. Play on the bomb side directly, and for Astralis, you've got some util, you've got some time, they've still got that mid walk.
Have the boost up as well for Blame, looking back to the back lanes. Seeing nothing. The CT is playing a bit more central to the site, so they won't really be taking contact until they really go for the execution here. That lurking mid is going to be the big concern for my money, because the smoke's down on ramp.
That just wastes so much time, and it might even cancel the setup for Astralis, put a little bit more pressure over towards the A side. They really want to try and see if Glaive can open up some space and get a frag onto Tabson deep in CT.
Zipex taking point for the T side main force. But still slow, a much slower kind of round by comparison to that pistol, and it might work out better for Astralis, because Glaive been given this perfect chance to flank as Tabson's turned away, and he's walked forward for it. Here come the T's as Farvan gets caught off guard. That's a second kill for the MAC-10, but Tabson stands his ground. Glaive with his trade, Searson with a response, 2-on-2 situation, and scrams through the smoke will get Searson his kill. The second round on the board for Big.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's think about that for a moment. So you've got the way in which an aggressive walk forward from Glaive is finding so much map control towards Candles. The issue is, Jay, it's a B stack. Tabson was that mid player. He relocates over to B. You've got Keto, Searson, and Tabson over towards B. So in the end, it comes down to a stance of, yeah, they're able to catch off Tabson. The B stack is still stacked in.
They held it together, confident till the end, and confident in this follow-up as well. Still no bomb plant for Astralis, so still no buy here. Couple of upgrade pistols that can do some damage if they are able to make this ace execution work. They've got smoke as well for Glaive, who I imagine might be setting that up. The first man out instead, maybe for a post-plant smoke. Needs that headshot on Farvan, and he won't get it on that first contact.
Yeah, we've seen Ancient a few times in the head-to-heads between these two. A 16-14 going the way of Big, a 16-9 going the way of Astralis previously. And Big, certainly on this CT side, can start raveling through the money, get that pressure up, and make sure that this anti-eco doesn't find much success at all.
Passing the upgrade pistol back to Config here. As I mentioned on the desk, he has been a little bit quiet at times. Maybe this could be the matchup where he becomes the impact star for Astralis. But not right now. No stars burning bright here. They are just playing as passive and slow as it was in the previous round.
And just knowing that BlameF's turning 25 today, this could be a big milestone to not only reach 25, but to reach the grand finals. That would just top it off. And of course, try and get yourself even deeper into the event, if at all possible.
Ultimate birthday present.
It really could be.
Maybe tomorrow could be even better birthday present. A belated one, but still good nonetheless. Astralis not going to get gifted anything, however, by the big side. Just jump face, looking for info, stack their way into elbow. That one man as Zipex might be a problem. Not anymore.
Tabson just continuing to search for the information, and Keto going to swing out from his lane control. Starting to get some confidence of himself, and I think definitely for Keto in a situation like this, being called into the team so last minute, just try and fit in the gaps.
Yeah.
If you may be playing a role that you're not quite used to of where he's playing at Big Academy at the moment, that's okay. And one thing that we can even add about Keto, we saw him only very recently playing in the Dallas EU closed qualifiers. He stood in for them for the entire event.
You have to argue as well, like we were actually working that event as well, and you've got to remember that we weren't all that hyped about Big with Keto in that one, and that's my big concern when it comes to him subbing into this roster. Crimbo might not have been a star player, he has been an important element for this side, so they will need him to fill his boots and then some. AWP is out for Sears and he's pushed up into window.
It's just so much aggression, and it's taking map control. It shows that Big want to be on the front foot. They want to take some early fights.
Pushed back in the end by the utility of the Big side. Astralis fall away, not going to give Searson his chance to bite at the bit. He's one of only 2 real primary weapons here. Big are working with a bonus buy round. Astralis with those guns out, now trying to put his effects up to position, but he can't get that first kill.
This is looking really positive. Danger elsewhere, and even Keto getting aggressive.
Heard the body block, but that was all a bait and switch. Farlig sets his AWP up and gets Keto to drop. Searson also down and out of the round. The charge forward gets lane control. They lose the M4. The AWP can be recovered, but it's a 5-on-3.
Astralis punishing the over-aggression. Big really wanted to try to put the pressure on, and you find now, even in a 3v5, you're still searching. You want to try and find a way back in, and even Tabson in this cup he caught up would love a multi-frag.
He's going to peek out, see a man as the Molotov comes in, was going to get forced out anyway. Zipex going to sandwich in Taps and get another kill for his trouble. 5-on-2 now. 1 man left on the B site, 1 player also on the rotation. The AWP trying to get here. Oh, they haven't checked the corner though. The shot connects to Tizzy and doubles up on Blame, and the bomb's denied. Farthen with the ultimate patience brings it into a 2-on-2 now with the bomb in the open. Zipex low, and Tizzy hunting for more here. The spams desperate with so little time on the clock. Smokes back, but Tizian so far ahead of it. He's peeking in for even more. A no-scope, in fact, on Config. Another one on Zipex. A quadra to keep it together for Big.
Mate, what is that? What is going on? A 2v5 situation there from Big. Just when you thought it all lost control. Just when you thought Astralis were punishing Farfen in the site. The trigger discipline with that MP9. And of course, Tizian connecting with some really important shots. And we've seen no-scopes. We saw it only yesterday, Jay, and we're seeing it again.
If they keep stuff like this for Big, I don't know how much they can put their faith in the no-scopes, but regardless, it's good enough for this round. Astralis, so close yet so far. Got to check all those corners. You can't afford to make a mistake on the big stage. And the pistols are back out for them. That is their ultimate punishment.
And now for Big, they know this is going to be a game on our hands. We really need to knuckle in and not give away some early advantages. Astralis bringing a lot of bodies over towards ramp. Could be a walk contact.
Oh, the spray down from Keto lines up to Zipex and Glaive, overwhelmed. Flashes will keep the man blind. He's got backup right back here. Tapson burning a little bit and eventually down to Farley's Deagle as the shots ring out for Searson, indicating where that AWP is and forcing Astralis to back away.
Yeah, now in a position in which they can't just continue that force forward into the B side directly. Tapson receiving a couple of those spam bullets, getting even closer to death. Astralis, if they can get a bomb plant, if they can drop another weapon, if they can get the AK out of the hands too of Farfen, that would be even better. AWP holding for the contact. Ooh, what a shot by Config.
Okay, Astralis are back in this one. The fans are getting riled up. Maybe the players are too. Smokes are ready to have access to the site, and Farven will catch Farley trying to cross without any utility. It's not going to be easy for Astralis, and in the end it will be a failure of an XC. The bomb's on the back of Blame F. He can go ahead for the rotate, but he's in a 1-on-3.
Yeah, players all around. Really needs to try and get up towards this ramp control, and Blame F, the highest rated player in the event, we've got to see something special from him now.
Only 1 kill so far. He's going to make it 4. He's mistaken ahead, and that's going to give away the info as to where he is. Doesn't stop him taking down Tabson, but Farven once again in that wood corner will get the final kill of the round. A lot of damage being taken by Big in these ones, though. These have been very expensive buy-ups and reinvestments for them.
It's very true, and it does open up your mind to that instant reset potential once we get into that situation of Astralis putting rounds up onto the board. But for now, the streak is continuing. And keep in mind for Keto, he's played 46 maps in the last 3 months, Jay. That's 10 maps with Big, 36 with Big Academy. Out of all the maps in the pool, outside of the Instaban of Inferno, Ancient is played the least by him.
Haven't we seen this scene before? God B calling a tactical timeout, getting animated and talking to his team. The discussions coming down and how intense he looks right here. 5-0 is still the scoreline, but just with how expensive these have been, I think he realizes it's not going to be good enough. 1 good round is all Astralis need to get right back into this game and potentially close the gap.
Yeah, we saw in the 1st of May, God B given the keys to Big's new head coach and parting ways with Enk and Jay. trying to get back into the team and back into an environment of trying to reach the top. Flawless on the CT side as of yet, but you can see the money stay is quite limited. Astralis know they're close to Kraken.
Those guns are back in for the max loss bonus. No need to go for ecos at this stage. And the spray works great for Config, who doubles up. Tizian with a trade, Config with a triple, and he will burn in the end, but Astralis have done their damage.
3 players aggressing down towards that mid-control. Astralis fighting back with it, not quite having the flashes on the point, so Astralis are able to get the man up, and now they've got plenty of time, Jay. There's about 1:30 on the clock. They can slow this right down.
Big of 1, 2 on 3 situations before so far in this matchup. They're going to be careful about this, though. Spread themselves apart. 1 player per site, one of which may be about to feed Farlig. And in fact, no, looking away at the wrong moment. tabseN timed that so well.
Didn't get legged in the process either. Can think about a reposition, try and get out to that long control. Now, his teammate Aikido is going to be far behind, so realistically for tabseN, another pick and staying alive could be really vital.
Just backed up, leaning in. Smoke sent down, he wins the fight on Zipex as well. Dry facing, trying to bait Blame to get a little bit closer. That nade's going to sail right past him and everything. Blame F sees the shoulder bait, and now backup can get called with a flash in from Keto. tabseN catches him blind, and once again holds the round for Big. How are they getting away with this?
Well, Astralis are ranked first in the event on T-side for flash assists per round. I think we need to look at the stat line for Big. We are seeing really good utility. And to think again, we're in another situation, Jay, in which they recover a man disadvantage. 2v3, tabseN staying alive, the flash coming through from Farfen, and just containing, doing so well, and looking calm in the matter too.
Composed, coordinated, the efforts from Big. Winning this matchup thus far. Astralis not looking all that impressed themselves. 6-0 on the trot. When they've had so many advantages and everything here, Dwayne, what do they have to do to break this?
Well, especially early round, they're actually doing very well. They're getting opening picks, they're being able to put themselves forward. It probably comes down to maybe some slight acceleration, a little bit more quicker, and maybe more plays towards the A side. It feels like it's only B so far this half.
Mid control thrown in there for good measure. The nades and Molotov damage being done to Zipex will tag him to 59. One of only 2 automatic weapons in this round for Astralis, so even though they are on max loss bonus, they have to take some limitations and some save calls here and there. Half invest, and they will lean into the A side, just as you called it.
2 players here, though, for Big. Decent crossfire to come through from both Farfen and Tizian. You've even got Sirison that could be on the quick rotate. Astralis have got some nades to send it forward.
Those will come down. Down to Temple. Down to A lane. It's Farlig, the first man into the site. Farven backed up. He's waiting for his chance to strike. Tizian will get overwhelmed, and now the AWP is even here. Farlig went right past it. No sprays through the smoke. They're going to wait and play retake.
I don't want to give away that information, and even Config's now picked up the AK. This could be a deadly round.
Smoke start to clear. Config's seen, but the headshot works better for the AK than it does for the M4. Astralis now have control. Can Big turn it around? Zipex has been seen once again. tabseN and Zipex both missing their shots. And the bomb now in their sights. Keto presses forward, but Config gets away with murder once again. Looking for his triple, but tabseN finally puts him down. Gets on that bomb, but little has anyone recognized the backstab from Farlig in from mid. Doubling up with a P250 and stealing one back for Astralis. They have finally entered the EB Finals.
A very good round coming through from Astralis. And you've got to think about Config there. Picks up the AK off one of the fallen teammates on the city side of Big, able to put it to good effect, stays alive, pulls so much distraction, and then with all that in mind, that the T's are getting smoked off towards that donut entrance, it's the backstab. It's Farlig coming through slowly and silently towards CT Spawn. He finishes that round with a couple of kills. He ends that round for Astralis.
Config was the one that started it, though. Those kills on the backside worth everything.
Send it.
Quickly in. tabseN left to do a lockdown and receive. Pistols are out. Mac 10's forcing forward. Searson's the only rifle. He does get that one frag, but Farlig's got an AWP of his own. Searson held back on short, missing his next shot. Being flanked now. Still connects on Tizian. Got to turn back towards Blame, who removes him from play. Farther than a 1 versus 3 with no choice but to save.
Beat them with pace, and we didn't even have the opportunity to discuss that this was a double eco status round. You had Searson on the AWP. You had force-ups for everybody else. There's pistols out because the economy is so wrecked there from Big, and Astralis have the call of let's send it. Let's go really quickly into that B side.
That's what I was saying earlier, right? All those rounds of damage that Astralis were doing, even though they weren't quite getting the victories on the board, 6 in a row with only 2 players staying alive, only with 1 player staying alive. That damage compounds leads us to this. They couldn't have stood a chance in that site even if they tried. Astralis can make up 2 and start to close that gap. And remember, 6-0 might be a pretty one-sided scoreline to start off a matchup. 6-3, not so much.
We know that for Astralis in the last 3 months, 7 wins, 5 losses on this map of Ancient, with a round win percentage of 46.8 on T-side. So on paper, Jay, we're probably looking at 7, 8 sort of rounds on T-side. That's got to be at the goal, at least, and an average sort of marker.
We do know how CT-sided this one can be. So Big certainly within the appropriate margin, I guess, as of right now. Not the appropriate buy-up, though. Again, USP's brought out double eco, like you mentioned, forced in the previous Harsh for the follow-up. Upgrades are in, though. Farthen did opt to go for a Deagle and Kevlar. P250 passed off to Keto in this one. Astralis. Stack on the B side will be detected by Blame F, at least in part. They'll slowly walk their way up towards the A side. It's only a matter of time before they win this.
As soon as they recognize the stack, that'll be it. Even a walkout towards the A site should be enough clearance of information to realize exactly what's going on, and we can already see the T starting to charge through. And of course, for Blame F, 4 maps played so far, 103 rounds, positive 49 on the KD difference, highest rated player in the event. He's been an animal.
The one to keep your eyes out for. Nothing to keep your eyes out for in this match, though, or in this round at the very least. Blame finding Tabson. Playing against the rotations that Big are about to bring to the fold. Tizian caught next. Easy picks with the AK against the pistols. Simple stuff. Simple stuff.
Yeah, Big are just hoping for an exit frag. If they're able to drop one of these T-side weapons, bring an AK into the next round, then obviously that would be brilliant. If not, and so be it. Look to go into the rifle round next. And Astralis starting to get some momentum. Chain rounds in a row.
Yeah, Big with the start. Astralis clapping back. They set themselves up appropriately to get this exit frag against Farlig. It depends how far he extends, though. Sayers around the corner. They haven't made footsteps, though. Farlig might be in trouble. Yeah, that's free off.
Nice.
So not terrible for an eco, honestly, but they still lost the round.
And just keep an eye on what the economy was looking like there, Jay. If Sirison wanted to go for an AWP in this round, it would have been Glass Cannon. So the fact that they've actually been able to pick that off of Farlig and not invest, it's going to give him armor and util to work with now.
A little bit of a bonus. Definitely, that armor and util can make all the difference in the world here with the gun buy. Now inbound for Big. Have to take a sacrifice on Tizian's for Mars, but good investment for both teams. First shot for Farlig, tanking a bit of damage. Tizian jumped face to throw that Orb's aim off guard. Blame F, meanwhile, walking up from lane. I think Tabson has an inkling he's out here. If not, he's just generally watching the smokes. One of only 2 players in this position. The main force is back at elbow.
And notice now we go into the rifle round in round 10. We're not seeing that hyper-aggressive mid-control. Yeah, we had the stance of Tizian pressing forward. It's only one player. Big have changed the setup and even dealt with Blame F.
Tizian gets value out of that for Mars. Might be the weaker weapon, can still get a kill. Searson's Orb, same story, but much higher value. Config as well, a big player. It's Farlig looking at the face, and Searson ducks out of the way. Perfect timing.
And no flash, very dry, and even Zip is out into the open, but the AWP gets punished. 2 players towards Donut now.
Enclave's baiting Tabson, instant execution, headshot to the back. A 3-on-3 situation as a result. Big will gain the mid control, though. Astralis have abandoned it going into that B side quickly. It's all on Keto to stand his ground, but he's up in cave. He can't deny the bomb plant unless they plant it for the broken wall.
Just try to spam forward, stay alive for as long as possible. But now you might have to think about the save, especially with the Farfan going down now.
Yeah, Farley with that AWP pit, cutting out one of the players of the rotation. Tizian has seen the elbow of Glaive. He's got to look for Zipex next, and he's going to check the right angles. Just got to win those right fights, but his back's turned. Didn't check all the way, repeating mistakes of Astralis on the big side now. And the gap has closed to 2.
Yeah, it's a tough one, because you want to always keep your eyes on that short player, just in case there is a spin around. And that's a lovely frag coming through from Zip, and it just felt as if very composed from Astralis on the recovery. Obviously, you lose that first advantage with the FAMAS out from Donut, with that AWP pick from Sirison, and then as soon as that trade comes through that the AWPer falls, that's when Tabson just starts lurking forward, trying to make an info play, and gets denied of that.
Yeah, 2 rounds to separate the 2 teams. Going to close out to 1 surely with Big's next eco round. So, caught a little bit off guard there for Zipex part. Worried that the opponents had forced forward those flashbangs and almost took his own teammate down. Early start with the util was at least gotten something together for Big, but again, the possibility of them getting the round or getting much out of this round is still fairly low.
Yeah, only seen Big play Ancient 9 times in the last 3 months, 4 wins and 5 losses. Definitely not a map that we see getting picked into or a map getting played very often against the Germans.
Therefore, a right call for Astralis. Backing up out of the A site for the CT forces. They will try to escape dodge, stack on that B play, which, to be fair, the bomb is out there. So it is the right call for the time being. We don't know whether or not Astralis are going to go ahead and commit to that. That's yet to be seen. They have the weapons to deal with it as appropriate. A little less than a minute on the clock.
Yeah, Big are actually ranked first in this event on City side for highest round win percentage in the event. Like that discludes what map we're talking about. Just in general, their City sides have been baller.
Your CT side for the ages right here. Gito tapping. Deagle revealing his angle but not getting anything. Config's allowed to walk out to the A side. They can even bring the bomb over there. But Zipek's going to push forward anyway. Again, pistols v rifles so they can win these fights and just win the round by default here. That bomb's going to go ahead and commit though. Astralis will go ahead and commit with it.
They just want to continue to sell the fake, hold the CTs at bay, don't let them over-rotate at all. BlameF getting a few kills and now starting to really get involved into the action.
Tabson known, Blame's looking to farm some stats, does get overwhelmed, so again, there's a rifle they can play with in the next round, but the CT side, if Config has anything to say about it, that is Tabson removed, and AK will fall with him. Searson has one on the floor, he's got to go straight through Config, and everybody else surrounding him here for Astralis. They're going in for the peak as he quick switches at the worst moment. And in the same way that Big got 6 in a row, Astralis will get 5 on the trot.
Yeah, very streak heavy, and it comes down again to the lack of economy management here from Big, knowing that they got off to such a great start, but with not a lot of money built up in the bank. We're in a buy eco state, and for Astralis, knowing that this is on their T side, they're starting to really grind the momentum forward and show how pincering they can be and strong in those mid rounds.
Guns are back for Big. Familiar territory once again with the AWP atmosphere. Config tanking a ton of damage to get out there in mid, giving Tizian a pretty easy kill. Searson with the assist. Molotov sent right back his way, gets caught off by the aim punch. Blade with a trade, doubles up as well.
Lovely stuff coming through, just working with that volley, forcing him out to the open, and now even continuing the pace over towards the B side. This round is finished.
Yeah, Zipex with his double glaive, with a triple in the end, and maybe Zipex's criticism in this particular event might not be as warranted as people might initially assume. Given a lot of hell over the last few weeks, but right now he's given hell to Big, even standing on the board.
Well, they mentioned it on the desk. He's the second highest rated player for Astralis in this event, and sometimes all you need is that good run. And remember, this is the upper bracket final. It means both of these teams top the groups. You have a look at Big. They beat MIBR on Nuke in the opening best of 1, beat Fnatic in the best of 3. For Astralis, they had to take on EG and Imperial.
They've rided their way back into this matchup and look to take the lead away from Big as well. Nade damage will be pretty minimal. Tizian, the Eagle standing, looks away at the worst moment again. Caught off with damage, not quite dead. In fact, Config is, though. That's a frag towards his favor as he turns that whole situation around. BlameF will follow up and Glaive to turn it back into the favor of Astralis in the end.
I just felt there from Tizian that he's trying to overextend to pick up the AK, just couldn't quite get the reach, and now Astralis start the punishment. Make sure that no weapons get out of hand. BlameF clearing out the cheater in the cave position, looking to put intent down onto B.
These three players are stacking it up once again. They've got a lurker out from Glaive. Keto caught by BlameF. Searson and Tabson wondering how they're going to break this if they can do at all. The Deagles will force forward and Zipex will get caught off guard. Tabson's found a kill. 2-1-2. The AK's doing damage to Farlig. Hold the phone. Big have found a way into this round.
Oh, this is a tough duel though for Searson. Peeking up against the AWP. Farlig knows he's got so much time to play with. Needs to get Glaive into a good position.
York just watching those doors. Glaive. Did he see him? I don't know. Farlig has. That's a kill. Tabson working his way back into mid as the rotates start to come through. Won't hear the footsteps from here, I don't think. He might hear Glaive now. Just about. Smokes down to the A site, and he's going to go in for the long old flank.
Oh, Glaive's holding, though. Still out towards Donut. The fight doesn't quite come through, and Astralis continue the streak and now take the lead.
Yeah, all-important round there to hold together. Big really shouldn't have gotten away with as much as they did, and they damn near got the round for it as well there, Dweg. But the lead sits with Astralis from here. 7 on their board, and you can just see some of those kills from Searson and Tabson once again. Again, don't count out those pistols till the round itself is done. Astralis, however, they've gained all they wanted. They have the advantage, they have their weapons, and they have the rifle round.
And Big is just desperate to end this streak. Searson getting that AWP in so many different positions towards mid. He plays up at Candles, in the pit position, out towards Donut. And this time around for Astralis, they don't really have that much early mid control, instead looking to take a dry contact from elbow.
Once again, they've gone careful. Searson's even backing up even further, so it doesn't seem like they'll get contact, at least not right now. Config back to Way, eyeing the Tetris boxes and just going to sit there, as is everybody else for Astralis.
And just knowing that Searson's now gone further back passive, it puts a 3A setup in mind for Big. We've got a couple of lurkers with the AWP. Farlig actually might get boosted up to look over.
Looking down as BlameF starts things off once again out towards that ramp position. Searson with an AWP to respond. BlameF continues to press the issue. Nades back as Tizian chimes in. A 3-on-3, but the B site has fallen. They've got to rotate back for a minute, get back in. They're trying to deny that bomb plant if possible. The AWP of Farlig still fighting, so they're aware of at least that second man. Third unknown. And they'll go back to elbow, but no one's going to be.
Not at all. BlameF with that multi-frag. Currently first in the event for the most multi-frag rounds possible. Searson with the AWP deals off the lurker, but they've got to start getting bodies back over to B.
Yeah, that's all important. BlameF is low HP. He's an easy frag, an easy target. Tizian's going to hunt for it. Gets back to the site, though. Engagement from Farven finds Zipex, and it's BlameF with the impossible task. Less than 10 points of health for an ace here. 2 already found. No more left in the round. Smoke's down. Careful placement. He's hearing all those footsteps. Here's the tap of the bomb. He's not going to panic, though. He plays his cards right. Sees Searson's gun barrel. The smokes come in, and they just fire straight through it. Get that kill and find one to break the streak.
Yeah, that's got to be a frustrating one for BlameF. Think about that situation, Jay. He finds a double entry onto the B-site players. He's got the bomb site completely opened up, and yeah, it's taking a while for the bomb to get over in the lurk from Farlig too, from that A-made portion, but that round was in his control. Unfortunately, he just didn't get the support of his teammates.
The training game was so good there. Right up to the very end for Astralis. 7-all in this half, and Astralis will definitely be happy with that so far. 8-7 or 7-8 in the worst case than best case scenarios. And for a T side, you've got to think about that as being a positive element for them. Config has found that first kill already. Tizian down.
Yeah, Astralis are starting to really find a groove towards this bottom of mid control. Anytime they're in elbow, there's a danger of a CT falling if they get aggressive. Astralis now just trying to see if they can work any further more aggressive baits, and even Farfen's giving away the info he's in Donut.
Taps and swings up. Zipex gets caught. Farlig with a responsive. Astralis maintain the man advantage, and Farlig even extends it, in fact. Now Farven and Keto, very different positions on this map. One is on that B site. Keto just going to wait for them to make their moves. Glaive will lead the charge. Will they check it this time? Looks like they might do with the Molotov. He'll get heard as smoke goes down. Spammed up to 18 HP as Farven's fallen, and Config will be there to remove all from play. 8-7 for Astralis, and a fantastic T-side on Ancient.
Yeah, Farlig currently ranked 5th in the event for most AWP kills per round, and I think that first half is a very good opportunity to see what Farlig can do. A lot of trading game. Anytime we've seen the AWP play quite defensive outside of the B doors or in towards that lane position, I think we found a lot of success from him in particular. And just for Astralis, the mental game, Jay, to be in an upper bracket final, to be on your map pick, 0-6 down, to come out with a lead going into the second half, that's miraculous.
Indeed it is, you know. Like, I understand why they've gone for this. I understand why they've decided to pick into this map up. It's not exactly a great one for the big side, and you can see how it's working out for them. The CT half might not be good enough. This map might already be over by virtue of that fact. There's still a game plan in play. What can they do on this T side?
I think for Big, they probably need to get as much out of some of their AWPer of Searson. We know that he's had a pretty good half in the first. Tabson needs to call by example and try and get Farfen into the mix too. Acceleration coming towards Cheetah.
Fast out, Farven. They get tagged up initially. BlameF holds his own with the Julies. Oh, and taps his head off perfectly. Wonderful for Astralis, forcing Big to rethink their plan, go back towards the mid-control.
Oh, great sequence coming through, and now even faster into Big. Over towards that A site. Farlig's going to spot this.
Taps forward, looking for the kill found. Just damage being done to Searson in the back. But the DM Julius from Glaive are also out here on the A site. He gets a double of his own right. And a triple as he turns on Tizian. Makes it a quadra. The big man stands up at the right moment, and that's a pistol for Astralis.
Lovely stuff coming through from Astralis, and it all started off with BlameF in that cheater position, Jay. Gets that first tap, really sets the pace of things, and then Big realised, right, let's try the split in towards A. Let's go quickly through Donut, and Glaive boosted up towards the top of A main, spins around with the 180, and back over for the 4K. What a sequence from the IGL.
And he deserves that credit. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful from the 4-time major champion. Beautiful. 2 Julies out in the same round there for Astralis, working wonders with the firepower. Big looking a little bit dejected. What could be going on in their minds?
And just think that Config is the highest rated player for Astralis on Ancient in the last 3 months. He averages a 1.20 rating, and I feel like we haven't even seen the glimpses of him yet. So if this is Astralis at its strength right now, add in a good Config in the second half, and this could be a steamroll.
Oh, it really could be. It really could be. CT side, there's nothing to worry about here and now. The pistols are out for Big. No bomb plant, so mirror image of what we saw in that first half, right, where Big got their pistol. Astralis didn't really get anything out of the pistol and conversions themselves. And then a barrel of 11-7 before Big can get their guns out, assuming this round doesn't go well for them. And they have gone for a bit more of an eco basis rather than a force buy, though.
I realise the state of just get the Glocks out, buy up in the next. Astralis could have some farm territory, especially for Zip. If there's any sort of play down towards lane, but we're already seeing a fair amount of info play. BlameF is now aggressing forward towards lane. He's got Zip doing the same towards the bottom of ramp. So this is a switch on of information for the A-site players.
Yeah, crossfire locked. Players not seen just yet. Feel like it's the right angle you can swing and see them. Now the boost has been spotted, and here come the T-side. Keto and Tizian mowed down, taps him with one decent trade. As far as it will go, though, just that one casualty. Astralis getting to double digits first.
6 more to go. You can feel it coming, really putting the hurt down. And now we obviously open ourselves up to the imagination of the opening rifle round here in the second half. And for Big, this is going to be a challenge to see, okay, is there a response? Is there something that can be mustered up to make this game more competitive? Because you've got to imagine, if Astralis can win this 11th round, this could be them going flawlessly to 16.
Or almost. There's still going to be a few roadblocks in the way when Big get those guns out. There'll be a max loss bonus from the next buy up. Already the damage being done by the utility, the spam through to the wood wall. The nades down, damage done to Tabson next, 66 and 55 between him and Farven. Not a great start. Astralis haven't even taken contact yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of press coming through from Zip, just knowing that he's got an MP9 in that sort of range. And Config waiting to see if he can spot any mid-control spots. A couple, gets away with one.
Well, BlameF found one in the opening, and Dearson caught off with his knife in his hand. Farlig with a follow-up. BlameF will be traded at least for something back for Farven. Needs a double-up double against Zipex, and it's just not going to happen. The spray is just too far to the left-hand side. The accuracy of his crosshair and his spray transfer not there for him. Same thing for Tizian. Didn't even see Glaive before he went down for it. And Astralis are taking off now.
You can just see how clinical some of those trade frags are. The fact that you've got Config very defensive in that donut position, you've then got Farlig quick on the rotate towards the candles, and then even out towards the B side directly, and Cheetah, a lot of success being found by the bonus round, in fact.
No bonus weapons in this one for Astralis. Guns out, half by. All the main weapons in play for the CT side. Big have their deagles at the very least, which again you can't count out, but they haven't been as successful as Astralis have been so far in this matchup.
Oh, it's confident, isn't it?
Yeah, pressing the issue. Damage being done to Farven already. Caught with a spray. Looks the wrong way, thinking there might have been a bait and switch, and actually that was the bait and switch itself. Glaive forced to trade, and a 4-on-4 will ensue. At M4 for Tabson, doesn't last long.
Now look at Tizian though, he's already walked out AJ, and if he gets this pick onto Farlig, or at least puts pressure on, this at least allows a bomb plant.
He's getting the ace site, so the bomb can go down here. Farlig gets domed in by Keto, so an even standing 3-on-3. They've extended even further towards Donut. AK now in Tizian's hands, and Big on the precipice of taking control. Glaive, flash on his pouch. Is he going to use it? He might just go for the dry face, and it's still going to work out for him. That's the only rifle gone as well for the Big side. The pistols all that remain.
That's a lack of information. They don't know where those other guys are, and even Keto's taking space towards CT.
Pressing the issue. Glaive and Zipex making noise. Bomb being seen. Dearson caught still, and the Deagle continues to reposition. Tap once, not on the defuse itself, and Keto hits no more heads. Zipex with his kill. Glaive with a triple though, again having multi-fragging rounds. And extending the lead of Astralis. Got a bit dicey for an eco, and they can be happy with that on the Big side. But the real problem is that scoreline. It's getting out of control.
I think they were sweating it a little bit there, Jay. When you start thinking about the idea of the walk out towards A, the frags start collecting, you're in a man advantage, you got the bomb down. But Astralis kept their cool. They handled it very well. They played with the clock on the bomb being ticked. They allowed themselves to peek together towards that donut position and just establish the crossfire. But you're right about that scoreline. 12 on the board now for Astralis.
5 rounds in the lead, so it's not the most impossible difference to make up for Big. Once again, Farley going to push the issue out towards the lane position. Yorp in with the run boost, but being suppressed by smokes, can't see anything. He'll hold the line. The Molotovs will try force him out. The body block and everything, the info going in the way of the T side. Back off reposition.
Oh, he's still aggressive though. I really thought he was just going to fall back towards that donut position. This could be an AWP v AWP duel as soon as the smoke clears.
Searson will take the onus of the peak. It seems like it. He might be playing mind games. Blame F with the opener. Farlig to press forward. Utility seen. Shot connects to the backup dancer. And the main attraction, Searson to drop. And Astralis have no signs of letting up against Big today.
Even Farford's low. Surely this is an easy kill for Blame F as he spams through the smoke. 13 is looming and Big cannot get going. Remember, Jay, this was a 6-0 start for them on Ancient. No. And even Tizian's going to get caught with his knife out. Surely an easy pick to come through from Config? Not quite.
You can see it, disaster sort of approaching when he started walking up the stairs with only the knife in hand, though. Tizian will stand his ground and fight the best he can, but at 22 HP and 3 CTs about to face him, there was no chance in hell he was going to get that. 13 for Astralis. Unlucky for some, certainly for Big right now.
This may be the best map we've seen from Astralis in this entire competition. You think about their best of 1 against EG, that was a fairly easy affair. Against Imperial in the best of 3, it was a tight one. Nuke went 16-14. Even the last map of Overpass went 16-13, Jay. This has felt like an electric Astralis. Ones that's really come in prepared and put in their game plan to perfection.
And the animation on the faces of Big, and I can't see God B right now, but it doesn't look like he's getting real up and antsy about this matchup. Have they checked out already? Are they that dejected at how this one has gone in the second half? Can't play like that here, boys. Your second map is your own pick, sure, but stand your ground and fight. Give it a little bit of welly.
Got to end the streak. Got to get started on the T side. Astralis really climbing through, getting closer to that 16th, putting more util towards that elbow position and allowing Config to get aggressive.
Pushed up so far, seeing tabs on the jump, that's an easy kill. Rest of the team is going to make their way in towards A main, though. Flash is sent out, full send, Farley with the AWP frags, 2 to his name. Triple may even get found against Tizian. He's missed the angle, though, but he's reduced the T side to 2.
Oh, Sirrison's down the last one left, and the rotates are coming through. What a protocol that was from the AWP. As soon as that initial frag gets gained on the aggressive approach from Config down towards the bottom of mid onto Tabson, and they read all that util coming over to A, they know play it defensive. Farlig backs off, gets towards that temple position, and Astralis are already on the way for backup.
Beautiful shooting once again for Farlig. 17 kills deep for him. And that's only just middle of the board. 2 more able to usurp him. Astralis, well, with that much impact, it feels like this map might already be over. Big down to the half by putting everything in the grind back to overtime. 8 rounds in a row will get there. Farthen, however, has other ideas. Blame F caught first and foremost.
Yeah, beat him with pace, very quick in for the Tech 9, and of course, grants himself an M4A1S. Now the question is, what more gets gained out of this one? They'd love to be able to draw in another fight, another resmoke, and even Glaive wants to try and see if he can check back in towards this cheater position.
It's flashed in to check the position, but sees nothing at all of the Big side. The smokes and Molotovs at the ready to spam through. Zipek's going to try and return the favor and does get quite a lot out of it to his credit. He won't know that. Big will back off.
Yeah, Farlig's very deep. He's actually anticipating some walks forward in towards Candles. Instead, it's the donut play.
Config ready, sees one, taps forward. Four wrap that corner, easy spray, not quite as much. 2 kills on the trade back for the T side. They're all so low, but they're in the 3-on-2, and they've got that bomb plant, the bonus. Really, they need the round, though.
Look at Guido. He's got a massive backstab. If they can stay alive, he could end this.
It's taking too long, though. He just sat there on that B site. Searson caught on A, now leaving it all to Farven. M4 now in his hands, and the diffuse being tapped on the smoke as Farven continues to poke and prod, allowing a bit of breathing room now for Keto here. Swing out Farley with a shot, and the diffuse is being held. Keto won't get here in time. It was just too slow. Astralis now on map points.
And again, he needed his teammates to stay alive. If they distract on the site, if they hold on, that's entirely possible that he ends off the round. And just think about the util standpoint. Underhand smoke with the smoke, get it down onto the bomb directly, get onto the defuse, play up high, deal with that donut player, and then you just hold it from that point onwards.
Well, consolation prize for Big is the bomb plant bonus. They get the guns out. but it's one round out of many they need in a row to try and keep this map in for Astralis. They have not missed a beat on the CT side. When do they break the streak? T-side players working their way up. Blame F will send some bullets down range, then give up some info. It's Convict hunting for that first kill. Keto strikes instead.
A couple of players out towards that mid-control. Blame F just starting to hear that smoke clear, and Glaive catches the right timing, and Keto's looking the other way. What's going on?
Blame F's lining up 2 is what he's done. With Glaive's double up, that probably seals the deal on this map up. Tizian alone with the clutch, has the bomb at least at his feet. But surely he doesn't hold this.
Just when an opening man advantage is gained. What a crossfire that is being set. Glaive with 2, Blame F the same, and Tizian, he's got everything on his shoulders.
And that's it. Zipex with the closers, 16-7 for Astralis. Made it look easy with a CT side that didn't lose a round play. How impressive is that?
16 out of the past 17 rounds being won by Astralis. That is one hell of a feat.
Indeed it is, and it is appropriate for their own map pick that they would get it under control for Ancient. Not a great map for Big. Is that performance anything to take away for the rest of this series?
It could be. It's an eye-opener. Astralis are here to play, and they're hungry.
Well, it is their home turf of Dust 2, historically a fantastic German map for the Big side. So we head towards a break, we head back to the analyst desk, and we'll see whether they can recover their series after this.